There's two videos. I don't think we'll have the time to show the videos here, but dude, these two videos, the waterfall video.
He's in the water.
You good?
We good? Someone got a rope? We're gonna have to get that buggy out. Yep.
Like, my kids and I were watching that, and we were like frame by frame. Like, how the heck did this happen?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's like, you know, so many things were so lucky. Like the snowmobile didn't land on you,
Right.
and if you haven't seen this video, like it was 2 years ago, right? 2 seasons ago.
Yep.
You're with the Black Cats. Yep. And literally, like you're trying to take a side of a waterfall, you hit it, kind of funky, and it puts you like not over the waterfall, but in the waterfall, and then you fall backwards into it.
Yeah.
And Sled takes a drink.
It did, and I did too.
You did too.
Yeah, we were sitting around there for a while and trying to convince each other to like jump over it.
That was our question we had. Was like, did you just like the first time up there think you're going to do this, or was there like some thought and some planning around like how would we pull this off?
Yeah, there was definitely some deliberation. I was really pushing for Kyle Saxton to like jump off this pillow above it and land where I went up. I used that as a landing, but then there's like a hole down there below it that he probably would have gone right into. So I don't know. We're all trying to convince each other to do different things, and I somehow got convinced to try and side hill above all of it.
Yeah,
like, oh, it's gonna be such a cool shot though with like this water and the sun, you know, and you just like side hilling this super steep thing. I'm like, okay, so I came in. I'm like, I just gotta be light over that tree. Because if my track spins on that tree at all, it's going to slide down.
Yep.
I'm going to wash out across this steep spot. I'm like, I just need to get my ski into Cody's track. It's not that far, and I'll be home free. And I'm coming up. I'm like, don't think about it, just do it. And I'm coming up to it, and then I noticed this like stump that I didn't notice at first. So I had to ski like come a little bit, maybe 6 inches or a foot out from the trees, and I thought I'd have to, and I just lightly went over that tree like I planned to do. And then all of a sudden I feel the sled just like drop out from underneath me. And then when it did grab.
And then your stomach dropped too.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And when it did grab, the sled, you know, turned and my face hit the panel, I knew it was all over. Yeah. Like I had lost it. So I let go, and my next focus was like, just get on your feet and get away from this thing. Cause like,
did you know how much water, like, could you see, could someone be like, hey, it's probably like 3 feet of water down there?
We didn't realize it was that deep.
No, we thought we could see some like rocks and stuff. So we thought it was just like a foot deep or something.
Okay.
It was almost up to my neck.
Yeah. Cause the snowmobile was gone.
Like, yeah. I was standing on the side of the tunnel, and I was still like up to my knees or so. So, that was eventful. We ended up, you know, they got me out. I started to get cold, got back to the truck. Cody Monroe, local there, he's got a lot of heli friends, but his guy was like in Boise for the day. So we thought we were coming back the next day to get it. I get back to the place, Airbnb, dry up clothes, you know, coming back, I get a text, we got a heli. Like, okay, I get back to the parking lot, the sled's there.
Yeah.
So it was that fast. I never even met the guy. I just Venmo'd him for the extraction.
Yeah.
And then immediately got to work taking that thing apart and drying it out. And the sled ran after that. Yeah. Ran great, actually.
Cleaned it all out, huh?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. I mean, I did. I pulled out all the stops, but yeah, that was very eventful.
Yeah. The other one, and we watched it here because we're like, how are you walking still? Okay, I forgot where you guys were at, but you hit that knob, and there was like a tree or something, and then you basically just did a flip, like in the air.
The Superman?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was scary
There was
to watch.
like a lot of time you were in the air, like not on the machine. How was the landing on that? Like, was it? I mean, because it seems like your shoulder. I mean, okay, let me back up. Cats always land on their feet,
Right.
right? Supposedly. It seemed like your body naturally knew what to do to not like land on your head and neck.
Yeah.
Like, cause you like maneuvered in the air and kind of took it like, kind of like this, right?
Yeah.
With your shoulder side.
I'd never been I had never had a feeling like that. I'd never been in a situation like that before. What had happened was on this particular jump, there's almost no lip. You just kind of ride off it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And it's a tabletop to a pretty sweet landing. And we've hit this jump probably 50 times before.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. Very familiar jump to us. But there's a bush in the takeoff that has grown over the past couple of years. So as we were hitting it more and more, this bush became exposed. And Dylan hit it a couple of times. I came in on my 146 turbo and just like caught the perfect traction through his rut. And I've got my suspension set to be pretty like reboundy at this point because there's no lip on that jump. And I hit the bush with my track and it just bucks me.
Pop the back. Yep.
Yeah, and I feel my feet and like hips just go weightless. Next thing I know, my feet are above my head and all my head wants to do is go to the ground. It felt like I was diving off, a boathouse or something in the summer, except I'm 40 feet off the ground and this is hard snow, that I'm going to land on. So I was kind of freaked out, but something happens when you're in those situations where your like
Natural
prefrontal
instincts,
cortex
like-
shuts down. You go in completely subconscious, like flow state. And
You were in flow state out there, dude.
Completely. I mean, it's amazing the amount of time. It felt like I thought an hour's worth of thoughts in a matter of 2 seconds. And your body somehow figures these things out. I read a book about this not too long ago called The Rise of Superman that was recommended to me by a friend after I had a gnarly bail about a year ago and broke 2 ribs like in my back. And they talk about near fatal falls and how your body just goes into this state of crazy amounts of thought and you're able to do things that there's no playbook for. They talk about big wave surfers, when jet skis were invented and guys are getting towed into 80-foot waves. Or like the dude that jumped the Great Wall of China on a skateboard. It's not like ball sports. It's not like league sports or anything like that where there's standards.
Yeah.
These are just completely unprecedented things and your body's able to figure it out. So pretty fascinating. You can tap into that in other ways other than near fatal falls.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, to walk away from that was remarkable because I seriously thought I was breaking my neck. So I was able to get away from the sled, get my head kind of around and roll onto a shoulder. And I felt almost no pain from it. Rode the rest of the day. Had a little bit of muscle soreness the next day, but
Wow.
could have ended very badly.
Yeah.
I seriously thought I was breaking my neck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously glad you didn't, but
Me too.
I mean right? Like that, you watch that video over and over and you're just like, how did he like walk away from this, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Scary moment this season for sure.